Alright, hello and welcome back. Second flight of the night, and definitely going to be the last one. This one's going to take me probably a little longer time. Actually, I have to do the flight planning still, but I wanted to get on here with you. And flight tonight, just to let you know, take us from I almost said El Paso. Take us from Fort Stockton where we left off, and we'll go to El Paso. And this is a continuation of our Around the USA flights. Again, we started out in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Went down the east coast here, went all around the perimeter of Florida, including Key West there. And we've made our way all the way down to here. This is where we're ending up. So we're going west here. So cue the western music. I should get some, actually. Let me see if I can get some. I know I had some last time, so. So we'll be going west. Here we go. Enjoy some music. That's what I'm talking about. Hitting the Wild West. Share a little bit about how I do flight planning here. Turn on this western background music too. It's a little loud. But what we're going to do to plan this out is we're going to go to our search for winds aloft forecasts. Go to the aviationweather.gov. And we are down here. It's a little loud, sorry. We're going to have to do a couple of these. So what I'm going to do is you look at the map here, sorry, and you kind of go around where the areas are for wind and temp data. We're actually obviously going to click down here, but I'm thinking DRT and El Paso, probably the closest ones. So we're going to average those out, and we're going to take our E6B right here, and that's going to help us get all of our calculations. So El Paso, you see that there's nothing here at 3,000 feet. There's this at 6,000, but our altitude today is going to be at 8,500. So I'm just going to go with the 9,000 feet winds here, and we're going to average these out. Now the way that you read one of these is the first two digits, you just add a 0 after that, and that gives you the heading of the winds. So we have 170 here at DRT, and we have 210 here. So we take 170 plus 210 equals 380. Divide that by 2. And the average winds are 190. So we're going to write that down for our wind direction in our flight log, 190. And then the next two digits in each one, and again we're over here, are the speeds. So that's 6 knots, that's 10. 10 plus 6 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So we average out the speed of the winds as well, and that's how we get our winds aloft for our flight log. I show this in a big, long, boring video on the Eric Flight YouTube channel. I show you the really basic way of creating a flight plan for yourself. Please check that video on Eric Flight if you want to, but I do it a little faster when I do this. Because again, I use the electronic E6B. I have everything already in here, and I just kind of do everything through SkyVector and also calculations. So other than that, it's just calculating everything here. We got, again, our winds are 190, excuse me, 190, and the speed is 8 knots. Our true course for today, and I got this off SkyVector, but I show you in the video how to do it with a plotter and everything, is 288, or about 110 knots true airspeed, and we get all that from the POH and everything. And then it calculates everything for me on the E6B. So our wind correction angle is a -4. So we take our magnetic course after variation and -4. And that makes it 277 is the heading that we're going to try to take the whole time once we're en route. And our ground speed as calculated by this is 111 knots. Our next step is to get the leg time here. It's 186 miles between these. Ground speed's about 111. And what I want to do is I average out 1 minute for every 1,000 feet we have to climb. So 9 minutes of top of climb plus, and it's telling me 1 hour and 41 minutes. So our flight today with the winds and everything should take about 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we're going to be up pretty late tonight, but we're going to go for it. Next thing we do is we calculate the fuel. Total flight time of 1 hour 50. I actually overcompensate. I say 10 gallons per hour in the 172. If you go on the POH, I think it's like 8.7, but I rounded up to 10 just to have enough fuel for everything. It's better to overcompensate rather than under. So I'm saying it's going to take 18.3 gallons. Again, we also need a half, actually it's nighttime, so we need 3/4 of an hour reserves for nighttime flying. And seeing that I said 10, that'll be 7.5 gallons we need extra. That's a rule with the FAA. And if you go on the POH, if you do a run-up, it takes 1.1 gallons of fuel according to them, or they say, you know, calculate 1.1. So now we total that all together, 18.3 plus 7.5 plus 1.1 equals 26.9 gallons of fuel that we'll need. I already fueled this plane up, and I believe it takes 50 gallons, but let's look at that again. Actually 56, because it's one of the newer ones. So that's a lot of fuel, and that's what we will use. So we have basically almost half fuel is going to be required for this flight. It won't use all of it, because again, you're overcompensating. I did 10 gallons per hour instead of 8.7. I had the 7.9 extra for the nighttime VFR flying, and 1.1 for the run-up. Right, after that, I already have all my checkpoints in here, and I just have to put the ground speed with the distance between checkpoints, and that is how we get the estimated time for arrival on each one. But we got to add the 9 minutes top of climb first. First checkpoint's going to take about 21 minutes. So it's going to take us about 30 minutes to get to the railroad tracks as my first checkpoint. This is big open land. That's why I'm not worrying about doing this at night, because honestly, I don't think there's going to be a lot to look at, because it's big open land, and I wanted to do a nighttime VFR flight. I already did a daytime one with the Virtual USA Flying Club today, so figured I'd just go for it. And I'm just going to calculate all these times by putting them in the calculator. And it should work out to a total flight time of around an hour and 50. Sometimes it's a minute more or less, but that's because you're averaging times. And again, we're heading west. That's why you're hearing this wonderful music. So, good times. We've made it halfway through the United States, basically. Not halfway through the flights I've planned, but we're definitely going to the west now. Visual checkpoint's a little harder at night, so I'm going to cheat a little bit by using my GPS to help me with the sectional. But typically you pick checkpoints that you can see easier at night if you're flying at night. So, alright, total of an hour and 50 minutes. So we're going to be going well into almost 2 o'clock in the morning here in the East Coast, but I'm going to get this flight done. I want to get it done, and that's the code of the West. So cheesy. Alright, save that flight log so it's saved in case anything happens. And make sure I got my GPS working here, the signal from the simulator. Very good. And make sure it's doing a Vera. It is. Alright, so we're currently on the ground at Fort Stockton. I think I'm gonna just put this really quietly in the background. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make it really quiet. I'm streaming it from YouTube. And I don't know, should we leave the background music on or not? I really don't have a preference. But, you know, I'll leave it on for now at least, and when it gets old, we'll turn it off, right? Alright, it's nighttime at Fort Stockton, Texas. 186 nautical miles, I think. So it's one of the longer flights on the around the USA flights that I planned way back in June. And we've made it this far. So I'm also on Discord, which I'm trying to do voice chat if you want to do that. That's up to you. I'm just trying something new. I think it's going to get abused by people, and I'm going to have to take it down eventually. But if you feel like doing it, go ahead, go for it. And the Discord link should be, if you're watching on Twitch, in the panels below. Alright, with that, I think we're good. I think I got everything we need. We are not using VATSIM for this or anything like that for air traffic control. They still have that SIM Connect bug, and I used it today and still had problems. So, I'm going to have to wait till next week when they're supposed to update everything, and hopefully it'll all work. Going to my checklist on my tablet here for the 172 SP. So, it's pretty nice. I turned the fuel on already because I always forget that. When I first started the sim, I was like, why isn't this thing starting? And it's because the fuel has to be on. It's always a good thing. Typically at my flight school, they leave the fuel on all the time, and you check that during pre-flight. So, Alrighty then, let's get this thing started. So, seat track, back lock, avionics are off, autopilot's off, throttle 1/4 inch, and I made sure the trim wheel's already working, which is cool because that doesn't always work with SPAD, which is the driver settings for the Saitek panels and everything. Alright, mixture full lean. There we go. I had to restart SPAD to get the trim wheel working, so it's working now. And it says brakes. Alright, we're not going to clear prop yet. I don't like to call that till after I'm right about to start. But they say clear prop. Master on. Beacon on. Okay. How about we get some panel lighting? That might help, huh? Yeah. I can't remember which one's which, so we're just gonna... That's panel lighting. Oh, going the wrong way. Alright, cool. How about this inner one? No, that's radio brightness. Come on, go on the... I'm gonna kill the battery before we get anything here. There we go. Alright, I can see stuff. Yay. Floodlight, we'll go right up there. Glare shield. Good, beautiful. Alright, we got some lights now. Good idea. Alright, beacon on. Auxiliary fuel pump on. And that would be the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, the fuel pump was not on, so let's try that again. That's because it's SPAD again. Alright, fuel pump on, all the way in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. Fuel pump off. And mixture, I already did that. Alright, mags to start. So now I'd call clear prop and mags to start. Here we go. Clear prop. There you go. That's how you start the 172 SP. I'm so used to having to prime the engine because I'm used to carbureted things, but fuel injection, the fuel pump does it for you. Alright, oil pressure looks good. It's probably underneath the green a little bit, which it seems to always default to. Lights as required, mixture as required. So we got pin on lights, turn on everything but the strobe. And we're looking good. Alright, pre-taxi list. Seatbelt harnesses, flaps are up. We'll double check that. Yeah. Uh-oh. It did something with the thing there. There we go. It's just the SPAD.next drivers. Avionics on. Oh, because the avionics weren't on. I got ya. SPAD's been giving me some problems, but it's not like they can't be fixed. Alright, ATIS. 118.525.
Kilo Foxtrot Sierra Tango Automated Weather Observation 0400 Zulu. Wind 218 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 11,800 feet. Temperature, 20 C, dew point, 10 C, altimeter 299 or 2.
Talks
Kilo
wicked
Foxtrot
fast.
Sierra Tango Automated Weather Observation 0400 Zulu. Wind 218 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 11,800 feet. Temperature, 20 C, dew point, 10 C, altimeter 299 or 2.
Okay. Now this is a non-controlled airport, so we're going to be able to go out and just do our thing. So, oops. So we have runway what here? Let me check the truck supplement. It's kind of hard because they have like two fields in one. They have some turf fields here, and they have some paved ones. So winds are from 218, and they have a 21. So we'll go to runway 21. That's gonna, I think we have to taxi down the runway for that. So we're gonna have to back taxi on runway 3. So say taxi runway 3 when we get out there. I don't think anyone's gonna be flying here. This is a very remote airport. And should be good. The winds are, you know, the visibility is probably the hardest thing here. Visibility at 3 miles. But we're just going to go for it. So, obviously. Again, sorry about my allergies. They've been pretty bad all summer. I don't know what's up with that, but they are. And there is a plane in front of me. Was that plane here before? I don't know. And I'm probably going to run over ground crew as I get out of here because they're annoying anyways. Teach him. Alright, back to the checklist, but we're pretty much ready to go here. Alright, test the radio. No, nav. We're going to pretend the nav lights are the ADS-B. We're not going to turn the strobe lights on until we get to the runway. Taxi lights are on. We'll test the brakes as we go out, and we're going to taxi to runway 21. So let's do that. There's no airport diagram here, but it has a amateur airport diagram here. Oh, parking brakes. Oh, they are off. I guess that defaults to off now too, because they're usually always on. Brakes are good. All right, here we go. Runway 21. And I also have to change this graphic on the bottom because that's wrong. I just noticed that. Urgh. No matter what I do, there's something wrong. All right, there we go. That's the right one. Fort Stockton to El Paso. That is correct. Here we go. This taxi light's looking pretty good. Clear on the right. Ground crew, you're lucky. I saved your life. All right. I probably ran him over still. It's all good. Okay, now if I remember right, this isn't the best on the taxiway still, so there's supposedly a taxiway over here. As long as I get out there, I'm gonna be okay. So of course, crushing one of these blue lights, which is probably gonna happen, seeing that they're all over the place in the simulator. One major thing I don't like at all the airports is that the taxi lights are going nuts. But you crunch one of those in real life, I've been told that they cost about $300. So it's all good. And you know what? I do have to turn around because I have to get to runway 21 the best I can. I don't want to go on the runway and taxi down it, even though you probably could in real life, because it's probably very desolate. But you see what I'm saying about these taxi lights? Just pretend they're not there. We're going to follow the taxi line either way. Alright, we're going to taxi to runway 3 this way, and then we're going to back taxi on it and get to 21. Get my watch ready. That's my stopwatch, excuse me, for flying. Real life and sim. That's how we practice across country. I just did a cross country the other day to Chester, Connecticut, from Plymouth, Massachusetts to Chester, Connecticut. And all these skills that I keep practicing are becoming very second nature, like they should be, by doing sim. So for people that say it doesn't count sim-wise for VFR flying, I disagree on certain skills. It's definitely not going to be perfect on flight dynamics or the feel, but it definitely keeps your skills sharp for other things as a VFR pilot. And that video and another video should be coming out soon on the Eric Flight YouTube channel, because I had some really, the last 2 flights have been really good. So, but I need time to piece that all together, and I just took that other flight yesterday. So the Martha's Vineyard video will come out first, and then we will go on to the Chester, Connecticut video. Here we are at runway 3. I'm going to take a really good look here before we do anything. So skies look cool. I would actually stick my head out and around if I could, but I can't in this, so we're just going to call that clear. Hey, look, there's trucks and stuff. Alright, and I would also be on 122.8 for the Unicom, so we'll try to keep this real world, shall we? 120.8. Where are we? Right? 122.8. That would be Unicom. You can hear the radio now. That's because we're here. So, Fort Stockton traffic, Cessna Medical Foxtrot. We're gonna back taxi on runway 21 to depart for 21 at Fort Stockton. And here we go. That doesn't go anywhere. That's just to practice communication. So what I would do, because again we're just using the multiplayer in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it should have any live traffic going on at the same time. So the frames are just better this way. So we got back taxi all the way down to this runway. It's all good. Now, on our right, we might see some turf runways. It's kind of weird in the sectional because it kind of shows two airports in the same place. So I'm thinking the turf fields are your second airport, and they'd be out over here. And the pay fields are your other airport, but I think it's all in one anyways. It's just kind of weird that on the sectional they have two different names for it. So, clear skies, ISO on sky vector. That's what I use for my basically quick briefing just to get out here. In the real world, I'd be using the real briefer, obviously, and we are 3,011 feet MSL. So we're gonna climb to 4,000 feet and then be on our way on where we're gonna go. Again, ultimate altitude will go downhill here. I like how they have the sloping runways now, which is awesome. It's like real life. But we're gonna climb up to 8,500 MSL and go from there. So background music's pretty good, I gotta be honest with you. And I just found that on YouTube the other day. I was like, oh, I should get some Western music for this stream. And if we get sick of it, we will change it. So okay, really quick briefing, and we'll do a run up around the runway. I didn't do it there, but it's okay. This is very barren for traffic. Do a really quick run up. So if we're on the takeoff roll and there's a problem, mechanical emergency, otherwise there's enough available runway ahead of us, we will land directly ahead. No more. We'll land directly ahead and abort takeoff. If we are under, let's see, 3,750 feet, there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will land directly ahead. No more than 30-degree turns. Best glide speed is 68. I had to remember that because I flew a different 172 in real life the other day. If we're above 3,750 feet and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will take a turn to the, let's see, let's turn this puppy around. Take a turn to the, well, it's right down the runway, so I guess we'd go left. So we have those fields there on the left. Turn left, land on the grass, the taxiway, the runway. Whatever's available to us, best glide speed, again, is 68. Okay, quick run up while we're here. Run up, brakes are set, fuel set to both. Good, trim set for takeoff. And the trim wheel's working, yay. Trim set for takeoff. Flight controls, really quick. The box. So you can see it, here we go. In, right, out, left, all the way there, and there, good. Probably wouldn't be good to do this on a runway in real life, but we're going to do it. Flight controls, annunciator lights, got to test those. They look good. Alright, instruments, turn coordinators in the middle, no flag. Heading coordinator looks good with the compass. Vertical speed looks good. Altimeter looks good. Should be right around 3,000. Horizon looks good, and the airspeed is good. 1,800 RPMs. I'm going to test the magnetos. Right about there, right magneto. Good, back to both. Left. Back to both. Alright, very good. Vacuum looks good. Amps are good. Oil pressure, oil temperatures in the green. Idling. Should be about, what does it say? 575 to 625. You know, it's a little low, but it's okay. And then they said check the mixture. Lean to checks. They want to make sure it goes up RPMs. There we go. Yeah, we'll get up. That's what it is, because I'm at 3,000 feet MSL. Let's try to get maximum here. Maximum RPMs. And that's what we would do anyways, because it's not a high altitude airport, but it's at 3,000, so we might as well lean it. Alright, good. We'll leave it there. Other than that, throttle, friction lock, we're good. Alright, take off. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to climb at 74. We're going to rotate at 55. Rotate 55, climb at 74. And without further ado, we'll also turn our transponder on. That should have been happening when I turned avionics on. We're squawking 1200, and we're good. Alright, so let's announce our departure. Fort Stockton traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, departing runway 21, departure to the northwest, Fort Stockton. And with that, we are good to go. So here we go. The wind should be kind of down the runway, so what? A little from the right, but not much. It's mostly head on. And again, rotate at 55, climb at 74. Go 55, rotate. Look at that moon tonight on the sim. That's looking pretty nice. It's all left patterns here, so we're going to take a turn to the... No, we could turn on course. We just have to get up to pattern altitude first. Then I'm going to drop the nose. 74. 74 knots, that is. We going to the Wild West. That's what we're doing. Goodbye, Fort Stockton. Okay. Trim wheel's very sensitive still, but it's a little better than what it was, so go with it. And I'm going to trim it out for 74, so there we go. I'll keep the right rudder in a little bit. Very good. We're looking very good. So the night lighting on these models is really good. I will give it to them on that one. But the flight dynamics are a little off. I think it floats a little too much, and other pilots have said the same thing. When you land, that is. So. Alrighty then. You know what? I'll actually load up a program. We'll try something new for tracking here tonight. And I've used this program with... Oops, no, that's the wrong one. I've used this program with Google Maps before. Google Earth, I mean. So we will use the same program and we'll make it happen, and that's what I'll use for tracking. So, go. Alright, sorry about the screen flashing. I'm just starting up Google Earth so that way you can see a visual tracking of where we are. And we're coming up on 1,000 feet. We'll take a right on course. We're actually going to fly over the Brimstone Firestone test track. Maybe. It'll be off to our left. So, alright, let's check the right here. We're clear. Not much to see, like I said, but it's a nighttime flight. We're going to turn right on course. We should be heading about 282 to get back on course, and then 277 to stay on course. Oh, whoa, that's a little much there. Little much. Alright, let's stay that way, shall we? Climbing to 8,500. Good. And we'll take a look out there as long as I'm stable. So let's see if it settles down to where it needs to be. Gotta lean on this mixture for maximum RPMs there. So there we go. Alright, so really quick. If we look over to our left, we got this highway right here. Right here is the Brimstone Firestone test track. They must test for tires and stuff over there. We also got some nice traffic below on the highway. And yeah, things are looking good. So, back to the cockpit just to make sure we're doing well, which we are. A little slow on the speed, so we're going to drop the nose a little bit. And we're moving on, so. Very good. A little slow. Keep it around 74. At least I'm climbing though, that's what matters. But we want best climb. The Western flights start tonight. I mean, we were kind of in Texas before, but this is really getting out to the cowboy region of New Mexico and stuff like that. El Paso. Alright, and let's see if I can get this Google Earth thing to work. Gino, let's go. Refresh. Put it to the other side of the screen here. But it should track my aircraft, which it does. So let me do this thing here. Good there. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is I have this awesome program from a long time ago. And it tracks your aircraft at 1 minute ahead of it. And we left Fort Stockton. So, which is right here. And we're making our way to El Paso, which is all the way down. Over around here, I think. I don't know, but we'll take a look as we get closer. But at least we have some way of tracking ourselves. Whoa. 6,500. Climbing for 8,500. This program, by the way, is called My FS Google Earth. It's an old program, but it works with SimConnect and everything. So it still works with this, and I'll see if it affects the frames. Not really. The streaming does more than anything on that. But just to show you, this is that Firestone, Bridgestone test proving ground there. So this is the track I was telling you about. That's on the sectional. So we're going to go north of that to get back on track here. Lead the mixture out some more so they'll get higher. Very good. You know what? I could probably mark those endpoints. How's that? That might help us, huh? But I'm going to have to fly at the same time, so we're going to have to take a look at that. Okay, hold it right there. Go more on course and be good. Let's add one of these place marks. Make it huge. As big as I can at least. Oh, there's a plane icon. That's cool. And we will call that KFST Fort Stockton Airport. And I'll go to El Paso, KELP. I think it's over here, which it is. That's international. Fort Bliss is out there too, so yeah, it's right there. So let's put another one there, and that way we can keep track of what we're doing here. Okay, so I will show you what I'm doing on this. Let's see, we can drop down to 80 now. Let's get some speed here and get some better cooling. Alright, very good. So now you can see I've defined Fort Stockton. There's El Paso. And also the gold bar at the top will tell you percentage-wise how close we are. As that disappears, it tells you we're getting closer. So we'll take a look at that, because I don't have anything really like VATSIM or VATtastic or Simluator to track us on our route, so we're going to use that. Coming up on 7,000. Continue to lean out the mixture slightly, just get some extra RPMs. Very good. A little too much, there you go. And let's go to drone cam. You can actually see it below us, the test track here. They lit it up, so. Very good. And that's us. Basically on course. So it's gonna go to the right a little bit. I forgot that you can't steer the plane while you're doing that. So going back to the cockpit. Some iced tea here. Ugh. So, if you're tuned in and you want to chat at all, you don't have to, but if you feel like it, go ahead and chat. We also have the Discord. I'm testing it for the first time tonight. Not that I haven't done Discord with voice, but I am on the live streaming channel on the Eric Flight Discord, which is brand new. First time really being used tonight. So, if you just want to kick back, relax, and watch the flight, that's fine too. So, I appreciate you being with me and watching this flight with me. If you like it a lot, push that follow button. If you're on Twitch and if you're on YouTube, you can push the like and subscribe button. We always like to see new followers and subscribers and stuff like that. So it's been picking up since I've been doing streaming flights, hence why I continue to do them. I mean, I'm going to fly the simulator either way. So it's all good. Alright, coming up on 8,000 feet, we are basically on track, and then I'll turn to 277. We'll also set the heading indicator. We're looking good. And it's all good. Did I ever set this? I don't know if I did. 2992. Yeah, I did. Okay. That's why we have checklists, so we don't forget anything. So I'm hoping that with the fixes next week for Flight Simulator, that everything will become usable on SimConnect. So, like I said, I've got some legacy things here and there, and I like to be able to use everything that I can that I'm used to using. Right now we are using a lot of SimConnect stuff, so I guess it's just a vPilot VATSIM thing, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's online air traffic control that's live. So that's basically what it is. Oh, I unmuted that. That's not what I meant to do. Alright, coming up on our altitude here. And it's going well. So alright, we'll turn to 277, which is what I calculated with flight timing, and I also got to push my stopwatch on, but it did it itself. No, it didn't. Oh well, a man can try, right? What's our first checkpoint anyways? We never really got that. Railroad tracks, and that was 30 minutes away. So what I'll do is I'll start it now. I'll just minus the time for everything. Those train tracks, by the way, are a far long distance out. So we'll also trim down because we're starting to get where we need to be. You can see that trim wheel is just sensitive. I've tried my best to make that less sensitive, but it's just tough to do in the simulator. So we're just gonna have to go with it. There we go, right about there. But once we do get it trimmed out, we'll be pretty good. So and if not, I'll use the trim here. I have that on my honeycomb yoke so that I can trim it down. But we'd like the trim wheel to work a little bit better than what it's been doing. It's always been sensitive though. Alright, we are definitely on course here. And I used the real world winds aloft like I showed you earlier in the stream. So I'm hoping that will work, because it's been working on everything with the Microsoft Flight Simulator weather. I think I would like to see a weather engine like Active Sky be available for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I mean, I've had a couple instances where it's not totally accurate on this thing, so it'd be nice. And yeah, we're going real world time and everything, and we're an hour and 30 minutes out, so it's a longer flight for me, but we're doing this one late at night because kids are asleep. I spend time with my wife, and I get to have a little enjoyment late at night. So after a long day, it's been a long day. like I said, there's not much to look at out here. There's a lot of lights and roads. Lots of desert type land. So the sky's looking nice. Stars over Texas. So yep, going a little high here, so I'm going to trim that down. We'll see what that does. Alright, this is going to be a long way. Thank God for GPS to keep you on track, huh? I'll keep using the wheel on the trim here, so I might take that off though. Oh, I didn't mean to zoom in like that. There. Again, so many controls on this simulator. You gotta get used to it. Definitely more flexible than the old one. So, this is pointing to El Paso as well. You know what? I'm just gonna gun it because it's a longer flight, so we'll keep the RPMs up there. It's a clear night. It's not supposed to be turbulent or anything like that, so we'll go with it. Ordinarily, I like to do 2,500 RPMs, but we can push it. So. All right, take another look at where we are here. So here's Fort Stockton. We're right about here. We're going to El Paso. So you have quite a way to go and a lot of desert. Not much to see, like I said. So that's why I didn't mind doing this one at night. Got it trimmed out pretty good now. And if it's stable enough, we'll take a look outside again. Alright, let's do the drone again. See, there's not a lot here. Good look at moon, stars, the sky. It looks really good. You know, on Prepared 5, I made my own star DAT file with like real world stars, visibility according to the human eye and stuff. That went well, but I didn't put my strobes on. That might help, huh? I just put them on now. It's all good. Forgot to put them on because I didn't rub on the runway, but that's what we look like with a flyby. Again, you can't fly in this mode, so now that I've gone veering to the right, let me get back on the left. That's the hardest thing. I mean, I guess you should set it on autopilot, but I don't feel like doing that. What's the fun in that? I like stick and rudder flying. So, and you wouldn't be flying a drone in real life, obviously. Alright, our ground speed is 122 knots, so it's pretty good for the 172. I calculated 111 average, so this must be the faster portion of it. It's always good. Railroad tracks are coming up, and they go down from Pecos Airport, looking at the section with the GPS. But we will take a visual and see if we can see them outside. They said estimated time of arrival is 6:02. I have 4:44 Zulu right now on my watch, so we'll see if that is true or not according to that thing. Definitely not flying like flying where I fly, which is the northeastern part of America. We have lots of trees and stuff, but this is very barren land here. I like the night lighting though in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Looks good. And I love the cockpit lighting. I think that's amazing, and I love that you can dim it down if you want, you know. Panel brightness will dim that down. See what I'm saying? Like, very realistic. You can turn it off if you want to. So yeah, really good. Just too much for you. That's floodlight there. Okay. Clear clear shield. You can get really dark if you want to, you know. But I prefer lighting like that. Looks good. Trim up slightly. Train tracks are coming round the bend. Excuse me. Again, we're about an hour and 17 minutes out, so it's not gonna take us that long. According to my GPS, that's what it says. I mean, I calculated an hour and 50 total, but who knows? It could be there a little quicker. Have to see what those winds do as we get closer. So remember, it's all an estimation when you're calculating winds in between 2 points. So. Got some pretty good Western inspired tunes here on copyright free music on YouTube. Pretty good. Trim up a little bit. Also turn in just a little bit. We got a little to the right there. We are 16% there according to Fly Live, which is the thing that you see at the top of the screen. Nice, calm, easy night flight. But even the lighting, look at that. Like right out there right now, it's 11:47 at night. No, wait, is that? Yeah, they're an hour back, maybe. I think it's only an hour behind me. So 11:47 at night. Look, you got night lighting in the distance. That would be, let's see. I think that'd be Pecos, city or town of Pecos, Texas. That's pretty cool. All right, let's take a look outside. Actually, Pecos, Texas is out there, so that's the next town up, which would be, I don't even know what that would be, honestly. It just shows lights out there, so this is definitely Pecos, Texas. Coming out of Pecos, Texas, on the train tracks, so we are definitely close to where they would be. And honestly, if I had to, I would use Pecos as my checkpoint in real life at night if I couldn't see the train tracks. So. Very good. So if you're tuned in, if you feel like chatting again, feel free on asking questions, introducing yourself. I always like to get to know people that watch my streams and also that watch my videos on the Arc Flight channel. It was interesting, my flight the other day. I had someone at the airport recognize me and they're like, "You're that guy that does YouTube videos." And it's because I fly out of Plymouth, Mass. And they must check that out and say, "Oh, Plymouth, Mass flights," and they see all the videos, so it's pretty cool. But it's nice to run into people and meet them, and hope to continue doing that. Not that I'm looking to be a celebrity or anything. Those days are far behind me. Those are my gigging musician days in the 20s. Wow, look at that. What's that out there? Oh, there's more lights. There's a lake out there. There's little towns, Saragossa, Balmorea, I guess that's how you pronounce it. But not much there. The train track should be right around here. So let's take a look at this thing over here. Yeah, I think those are train tracks. Let's get a look outside still. See what we can do. I'll just turn this to the left where it should be. And outside, we'll see if we can see it. Alright, so we're coming down here, but this is it right here. So that is our checkpoint. It's not a railroad though, it must be just a highway or something. There should be some tracks next to it. So I'm thinking the track's right next door to it. And that will be our checkpoint. So let's see what I got on my watch. And again, this is going to be a little inaccurate because I didn't start it right away. I got 12 minutes. So I have to minus 18 from everything, which is fine. I will do that. It's going to take me some calculations here though. Let's turn to the left. Alright, so instead of 40 minutes, it's going to be 22, right? Yep. And then 34, 45, hour 3. So we're definitely ahead of the curve here. 21, hour 32 minute total. So again, I calculated 9 minutes top of climb, but we just went direct as soon as I got out of that airport. So that's definitely going to take some time off just right there. And that's why we go a little quicker than what I calculated. But that's good because I calculate the extra fuel to make sure I have enough fuel for the whole flight, and it works out either way. So it's almost like overestimating fuel again to make sure that you have enough for the whole flight. But right off the right there again is Pecos, Texas. And if this stayed stable and didn't keep going to the right, yeah, we could try it again. You know what? I'll just overcompensate. Head 270. Here's the drone cam. Yeah, I got someone behind me. Little Greek box. It's flying a Cirrus SR-22 at 2,900-ish feet. But yeah, so it's all good. How far away from the plane now? Oh, we're pretty far, and we'll keep going, so that's us in the distance. Lots of barren land. Nothing really to see, and this guy behind me at 4,000 now. Little Greek box, I have no clue. So if that's you and you're watching my stream, let me know. If not, enjoy the stream. And yeah, we'll go back to the cockpit now. Yep. Because I'm pretty sure, yep, it's hugging to the right again. So that's the thing about stick and rudder, is you gotta, there's not much wind up here, but it does push the plane a little bit, so it's keeping it nice and straight. Alright, next checkpoint will be second set of railroad tracks. There's not many visual checkpoints, so, but that is also coming out of Pecos, more to the west, and we should see that in 10 minutes total. So my watch says 22, which means we should be there about 7 minutes. Again, I do all this stuff, flight planning, have a great video on it, kind of long and boring, but it teaches you the basics on how to plan a VFR flight. Something that if you're going to do a pilot license later on, you're going to have to know. So if you want to practice it in the simulator, I'm going to turn off the marker auditory thing. I don't need that. But if you want to do COM 1, COM 2. There's a COM 3 on this. Did I miss something? Is that COM 3? That's probably COM. No, it's COM 2. So what the heck is COM 3? I don't know. Let's make sure we got this too. So 2, 1. We'll go all the way to the end there. Alright, 1, 2. COM 1. There you go. So yeah, we'll keep getting pushed to the north a little bit here. And that's because the winds are from 288, according to my calc. Oh wait, no, 190. So that makes sense. It's pushing us that way, just the right side. That's why we keep the heading 277, and it will counteract that for a wind correction angle and keep us on course. So, update on where we are in this flight. Here's Fort Stockton, where we took off. We're about here, and we're going to El Paso direct. So, that town I was telling you about, which is Pasco, I believe. No, Pecos, excuse me. It's right here. Here's the airport. So that was a good visual at night, and it has this highway coming down. Let's see if that was train tracks, though, because I could have sworn it said train tracks on there. Did it run across 17? Looks like it did. Yeah, it did. All right. Train tracks. You see any? Yeah, right there. So I wasn't lying. That's on the sectional too. That there's a bunch of train tracks. So better see at night. Knowing that the highway's there though helps us, and also the city's there. So that's what you do at nighttime flying. You pick ones that can have various ways of telling what's where. So. Yep, sorry, I was zooming out of Google Earth and it did that. So, guess we use the manual controls. Very good. Very, very good. Nice, calm, peaceful night here in Texas. Alright, we're going to switch up the soundtrack. We're going to try this one. Adventure Western music. Let's try it, see what happens. By Ross Bugden. Okay, and if it gets old, you let me know. I'll turn that off so you don't have to listen to it, but fair to add some background music to today's flight, or should I say tonight's flight. Got some mountains in the distance. You know, in its own right, flying at night on this thing is pretty scenic compared to the old simulators, because it has more shades of lightness and stuff, you know. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That the lighting looks a lot better and everything. Again, we're huffing on RPMs. Typically in real life I go 2,500 to conserve some fuel and still get a good speed, but let's huff it so we can get through this. So we got about 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, and an hour to go. So again, I'll be up to about 2 a.m. doing this. Excuse me. Sorry about the yawning. It's been a long day with 2 kids, so. And flying, real life in sim helps me decompress, so. Yeah, go. I don't want to be too loud, I don't want to be annoying with that, so. Texas. Where have I been in Texas? Well, I do want to visit El Paso sometime in real life. I don't know why. I just want to do it. Say I've been there. 2, I've been to Dallas. My brother actually lives in Dallas, and I have a good friend also in San Antonio. So I like Texas a lot. I think it's a pretty nice place. It's very friendly people. I know a couple of them like, oh, you should move here and blah blah blah. And you don't really see that up here in the Northeast as much. It's not that we're rude. We're more. I like to think we're more business minded. We go about doing our own business and doing more individual thinking, if you will, about ourselves. So, but there are kind people up here. I like to think of myself as pretty kind. I'm not that bad, I don't think, but that's for me, judging myself. So I try to be nice. Let's put it that way. Never ever used a hand intercom yet, ever. Then looking back, looks pretty good. So you can see that I used the same image on my webcam backing, and it's pretty cool because I just took a screenshot. I edited out the windows to be transparent, and then I actually took a flight in the 172 and recorded the drone cam looking backwards in the plane, so that's what the nighttime scenery you're seeing in the background. I superimposed the cockpit picture on top of that video and made it a video, and we stream with it, so it works for me. So, anyways, the program we use on that is called XSplit VCab, and that basically virtually takes out the background and my chair most of the time and superimposes that video behind me. So it's a pretty cool software. I wasn't going to buy it at first, but then it really kind of grew on me, so I decided to do it, and it's worked great. I also have the Cirrus on backup. I like to do a couple flights with the Cirrus in the future, so I got that ready to go. And we just passed our second checkpoint. I got 22 minutes. What did I say here? I said 22 minutes. It's looking good. All right. Next checkpoint's the Apache Mountains, and that should be in 12 minutes. That's going to take us a while, so. Oh yeah, you can't miss those. If I got those right, is that it? Oh, they're off to our left. They'll be off to our left. We'll take a look. But once again, you had a big road and you had railroad tracks. So we had the road coming down there, and yeah. You can see I got the settings to be really good on the simulator finally. So it's pretty smooth. It does the job. Little green box still in the back there on the Cirrus there. Everything's looking good. Excuse me. Gotta start taking Claritin or something. Pardon me. Check out the Virtual USA Flying Club Discord while I'm here. And a lot of them used, we had a fly-in earlier. We went around Mount Rainier in the Northwest. And it was a cool flight, but a lot of people are using X-Plane and Prepared Again. So. I have no clue what that is all about, but if you want to tell me what that's all about, let me know, because I have no clue what you're typing. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, though. Unless it's a bot, which it might be. I don't know if it is or not. Type something that I can understand if you're not a bot. No clue. But I'm trying my best here. You're called varieties of Muhammad Ali. I translated this in Google Translate. That's what it says at least, so. But it's all good. Alright, Apache Mountains will be coming from to our left here. Okay, I'm going to have to use the GPS, but let's eventually see what they look like. Really nice scenery. And the frame rate's pretty good, you know, for having ultra settings. Yeah, what about the mid-20s? For streaming and ultra settings? I'll take it. I'll take that any day of the week. Again, sorry about the coughing. Alright, update. Fort Stockton was here. That's where we departed. We're going to El Paso. And we're about almost halfway there. So the Apache Mountains, by the way, are this mountain range right here. So that's going to be our visual. We'll be about halfway through them when we say that we're clear. They have a height of 5,000, what's it say on the sectional? 5,658 at its tallest peak. So that's why we picked 8,500 for our altitude tonight. Now the other thing you have to remember is that this is streaming all the scenery and data as it comes from the internet. So you need to have a pretty good internet to keep the scenery coming. And so far it's been really, really good. I mean, after tweaking the settings for a while and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, it works pretty good now. The thing I'm also interested in seeing is they have a rocket ship icon on sectional here. And I can't remember what that means. I thought that was like a spaceport, and it could be a spaceport. So I'm going to look that up right now. And we'll see what it means together. But it's right near a defense area, so it could be. You know, the defense area is more south, but we'll see what it means. Rocket ship sectional. We'll see what it says. Yeah. The airport is a space launch activity area. So they launch things into space. So we're going to be passing that on our way to El Paso. Which makes sense. It's in the middle of the desert, I believe. So. It's all good. We had a good time earlier today, though, with that whole thing. With that fighter on Rainier, and that again is backed up. I archive all my streams on YouTube. By streaming to YouTube, it does that automatically, so it's all good. And yeah. Music ran out, so let's see. What can we get? Well, let's look up some new music. Has to be copyright free because I like to respect copyright, and I'm not making money on this or anything, but what's this? We'll see what this is. Yeah, some Western music there. A little different, not so cinematic. Well, kind of cinematic, but see that the winds have been pretty kind to us tonight. Got a nice, easy, calm, clear night here in Texas. Still 55 minutes out. And we're right about the Apache Mountains. So let's see if we can look out there and see anything. It's a little too dark to see anything, but let's go outside the plane and see what we can do. This will be overcompensate to the left, so it pushes us to the right. We still got some area to go. How's that? Apache Mountains. Right here, I believe. That's our checkpoint. Probably gonna be about 32, 33 minutes. Let's see what I said on the flight log. I said 34. That'll be correct, actually. Yeah, so we'll keep it at that. We're not quite past them yet. We're not even halfway through. But they're there. They're not huge or anything, but they're there. Get some more music on. Some fun with it. And next checkpoint would be the rocket ship, which is what I was talking about. So they have a space launching thing over there. It's going to be in 11 minutes. So 45 minutes total. Those are the Apache Mountains right there. The rocket ship you can't miss. So I'm kind of intrigued at what we'll see there. You know, like, is it going to be a launch thing? Is there just going to be like nothing? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yep. Yep, enjoying the Western music for tonight's flight as we're on our way to El Paso. Okay, I'll give you another update where we are. We took off from Fort Stockton, right down here. We're about halfway almost, and El Paso is where we're going, so looks good. Lots of open land, the Apache Mountains again over here. And we're getting there, so. Really intrigued at this space launching facility coming up here. Alright, get some new music here. It's pretty fun to check out new music that comes out here. Alright, this looks to be a compilation stuff. Alright, actually that's the one we already looked at, right? I don't know. I'll leave it. If it gets boring, we'll switch it, you know? Alright, let's take a look outside. And Jedar Dad, TBM 900, 30,000 feet behind us. That's again on the Microsoft streaming. And directly ahead of us, somewhere out here, is a space launch activity site. So I'm kind of intrigued and kind of want to see what's out there. So, yeah, I'll tell you when we get there, because that is our next checkpoint. Really nice flight tonight. Hey, if anyone's figured out how to get these things down, because I don't know if they actually go down, but it'd be kind of cool to have them for the day. I had the sun right in my eyes earlier simming today, and would have been nice to have those. Let me know. Let me know if you have any clue on how to do that. But yep, we're on our way to El Paso. Out in the distance there, what town is that? I don't know. It's got some lighting out there, right? You see that? No clue. You got any traffic out here? No. It's gonna get a little sensitive as I zoom in here. Oh, no, really. I mean, I don't think there would be a lot of traffic. We're in the middle of nowhere. But, yeah, it is what it is. Pretty smooth. I haven't had to touch the yoke in a little bit. And things are going fine. I just touched the yoke, get it all straight. But God. Definitely different than my railroad flight yesterday. That was turbulent with high crosswinds and stuff like that. And again, I made it. We made it to Chester, Connecticut, which was not the easiest runway to land at to begin with. And then add Groton, Connecticut as a backup just in case, but we made it on the second try. So, and that video will be coming out on the Eric Flight channel soon. I have one for Martha's Vineyard first though, and I'm gonna see if I can do that tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time, but I'm gonna try to edit that video and get it up there. So, I'm trying to concentrate more on the Eric Flight channel. I have another YouTube channel that actually pays for all my flying, and that has more do-it-yourself projects and product reviews. But YouTube's been kind of a blessing to me to let me be able to do flying and be able to afford everything. So. Got some pretty catchy music here. Not a lot to see. There's lots of roads, mountains, and sand. But that spaceport's coming up, so if we see anything, should be coming up. Now there's a couple lights and stuff. That might be it. So we'll have to see. Fly over it, we'll take a good look at it. Unless I can get the drone over there, which I don't know if I can or not. Where's the plane? Alright, let's reset the drone. There you go. Alright, set it forward now. Whoop. See if we can see anything. I don't know. Send it out there. And that's the cool thing about this flight simulator. They have a drone that you can send out places, but the thing is you can't steer the airplane while you do that. So it would be better if you put it on autopilot, but we'll leave the drone out here and see if we can get a preview eventually. See what I'm saying? Alright. It's back in the plane. Compensate again to the left because I couldn't steer it while we had the drone out there, and head towards these lights here because there might be something there for the spaceport. Very intriguing. So. Again, if you haven't followed, please follow on Twitch. We always appreciate that. And if you're wanting to see more stream flights and also railroad flights, please subscribe and like on YouTube at Eric Flights. You can just search that up, Eric Flight, once you're at YouTube, and it should pop up with my icon. Okay, set the directional. It's a little bit off. There you go. And other than that, looking pretty good. Let's go back to drone mode. I'm gonna maybe go to the left to compensate while I'm in drone mode. And oh, it looks like there's something there. Very interesting. Alright, I'm still sending it out, but I'm gonna go back to the plane. I'll wait a little bit, and it'll show up on the drone first so we can get a good look at it, so. But we are coming up on that spaceship, which is a spaceport icon on the sectional. I said 45 minutes. I've got 42 minutes total on my watch. And let's go back to the drone for a second. Straighten it out a little bit. It's very calm here. It just pushes me ever so slightly to the north. But here we go. We're starting to get to a good view here. It's definitely some type of facility, maybe? Or maybe it's just lights in the middle of a road. I don't know. Good to descend with the drone, too. So make sure I don't crash. That's the biggest thing. But, yeah, that's something. So this is a place where they launch things for space. Looks like there's some type of base over there. Yeah. Cool. Alright, back to the plane. Maybe we'll take one more look at it, see what it's all about. But we are gonna call it 44 minutes, like I said. And flight planning's going 45 minutes, excuse me. Alright, the next thing is the Hudspeth VOR. That's in 18 minutes, so I'm gonna dial into that. But let's take one more look at that spaceport here. Yeah. Looks like they do something here. You know? Definitely. They got some lights too, so. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. You don't see that every day. And that would be the spaceport facility here. Sweet. Back to the cockpit where we are flying. Back on course. And Hudspeth. Let's see where the VOR is. We're going to be almost over at 115.0. So we'll tune that into our VOR. And what we'll do is we'll dial in. So you can see that came alive. And we're going to keep turning this dial until it has a 2 and it lines up. And what that's going to do, it's going to tell us the direction to the Hudspeth VOR. So right about there. So that would be from actually, so it's going to be the other side. So it should be about 280. So let's dial in 280. Which is what it should be, because we're almost 280 on our heading too. And that will keep you on course. Real world or sim world, it'll keep you on course. Right about there. And if you fly that direction with the 2 indicator, you will fly directly over the Hudspeth VOR. And that's how the VORs work for general guidance. If you get lost, you can dial into one, and you want to go to it. Just make sure it says 2, and it lines up in the middle with the whatever the arrow's pointing to is your direction. You're heading to go to that VOR. So, yeah. We're also going to go over the Sierra Diablo Mountains coming up here. That's what you're seeing right here. So let's get a good look at those two. And let me just correct this to the left a little bit. Actually, that's my GPS there. Signal for a second. There we go. And yeah, looking pretty good. Alright, while we're correcting to the left there. Sierra Diablo Mountains right there. Nice little area. Take a picture of that. It's a nice picture. There you go. Took a screenshot. Yeah, for a night flight though, where usually you can't see much of anything, I've seen a lot. So I'm liking the scenery. car traffic down there. I got it set to 100%, so if there's any, it's probably going to show up. No, not really. Oh, I like the night lighting though, I'm going to be honest here. It's really lifelike. Real lifelike. Yep, I put the wrong camera there. I went to drone cam for a second. Alright, update on where we are map-wise. Here's Fort Stockton where we started. We're about halfway, a little more than halfway to El Paso. And the El Sierra Diablo Mountains right here from Route 54. So, pretty cool. GPS says we're about 40 minutes out, so we still have a while to go here. Now, on a long flight like this in real life, I'd probably be on flight tracking with approach, but I don't want to do that here. The air traffic control has a lot to leave to be, has a lot left to be desired on it. It's not the best still. Now I got iced tea going on the wrong way. Alright. Sure. There's not much left. When we get to El Paso, it's gonna be near the Mexican border, by the way, 'cause it's like literally like right there on the Mexican border. So it's kind of interesting that you have the city in the United States right near Mexico. It looks like one big city from afar, the satellite. So, but you can tell from the names exactly where the border is. So, very interesting. All right. What's my next checkpoint again? Headset VOR. That's right. So, listen, if you had to do this by instruments, this would have a blank, I believe, if we're directly over the VOR. You can see it's telling me to go to the left a little bit to line up on that radio, which is why I'm a little off 277. We also have it set to nav, so that way it's doing the nav with the radio, not to GPS. But if I did GPS, it could do the whole route on there. And you could also ident it. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, I did that. So on this radio, like real life, you come over here and you pull that. Or you usually just turn up the volume and it would do its thing. Again, apologize for the coughing. You turn that up though, it gives you the Morse code, the ident of the VOR, which you definitely want to do in the real world, because that's how you make sure that you're on the right VOR. That's FS real time, keeping the time real, so that way if it varies just a little bit, it's good, but it's saying that we got into another time zone. So actually they're 2 hours behind us. So right now out there it's 11:29 p.m. if I'm right. Yeah, I am right. So we're also a little high, but it's going to go down now. And we're good. I think El Paso's there. Let's check it. Mountain Daylight Time. So yes, they are 2 hours behind us in the East Coast. I'm in Massachusetts, so we just passed that time zone, and we are on our way. What that means for me, by the way, is that these flights, though I fly them at night, will be more during daylight because, again, they're behind me in time. Excuse me. And that makes it so, makes it easier to see things visually during the day, so. I have hiccups. Excuse me. Again, if you're watching and you feel like chatting, feel free. Ooh, excuse me. Feel free to send me a chat. Don't have to. You can just watch us. And again, I apologize for the allergies tonight and the hiccups now. So, oh boy. All right. I'll keep drinking iced tea. See if that does anything. But we are heading to the Hudspeth VOR. There's not a lot to look at out here for visuals. Again, ooh, excuse me, a lot of open land. But the graphics are pretty good. You can see in the distance there. Let's see if that, ooh, excuse me, that could be the outskirts of El Paso that you're seeing, and that is highly realistic. I don't know. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know if you can see that on the stream, but you can just see a slither of night lighting out there, like it's a city in the distance. Excuse me. And all right, I'm gonna give me a second here. So. But anyways, you got the city out here for El Paso, and you can see it's just like real life. You have a little slither of night lighting. Again, sorry about the hiccups. Oh my God, embarrassing. And it's looking really good. There's a defense area to the south of us, so anything out in the distance out there is a defense area. I would try to avoid that if possible. And on Sky Vector, I believe it says that there's some TFRs there. Let me double check that. There's something. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it's TFRs for security. August 28th through August 30th, from 10,000 to 13,000. So they must be doing some type of testing or something. Out there. So God, how many hiccups can we have in a stream? Jeez. Again, we took off from Fort Stockton over here. We're making our way to El Paso, and we're more than 50% there. You can see that from the gold bar at the top of your screen too. And yep, we're on course. Very sorry about these hiccups. Ugh. Now you can just follow those lights of the city out there in the distance, and very realistic, very, very realistic. Really nice scenery. Alright, let's take a look outside. The Hudspeth VOR is coming up. I don't know if we'll see it right here, but you might see it from a distance. You might not. Let's check out the drone cam and have that point up. Maybe we see it, maybe we don't. Where's the plane? It's up there, actually. That's where we are. And Jadar Dad's still up there. Alright. Is that... Oh, excuse me. Is that the little dipper back out there? I don't know. But, Alright, right below us somewhere should be the VOR. I don't know if we're going to see it, though. Is that it? Could be it. It's usually a white circle. I don't know. Let's go back to the plane. We'll see if we can find it here. As you can see, we're really close. We're on. Ooh, excuse me. We're on track, and we're going to the VOR. Now there's a standard Victor Airway here, 275. So let's dial that in. Wrong way. Again, sorry about the hiccups. Didn't plan on those. So if we leave that from 275, it will bring us right to El Paso. So it's not a bad thing to dial that in. But you can quite clearly see El Paso out here in the distance, which is really cool. You know, you don't see that in a lot of simulators. Excuse me. I think I'd pay $5 to have these hiccups go away. Now that the Needles and Mills is going to get very, very sensitive because we're right almost over the VOR. And you'll see this arrow change from, excuse me, 2, which is going forward, from, it's going to point downwards. And when we're directly over this, it should change to something as well. So, it's going away, but that's because we're also very close to it, and we're going to overfly it. So, typically you just stay on the heading, and that will switch around eventually. Let's look for it now, though. Close. Should be somewhere over here. If they put it in the sim, that is. I guess not. But this will switch over in like a matter of seconds here. Excuse me. Got some good Western music still for you. 26 minutes or so out. And El Paso does have Class Charlie airspace around it, so let's get closer, we'll deal with that. Alright, this should switch any second. Basically, almost right over it, so you'll see that flag switch. Excuse me, any second. Here we go, see it switched from immediately. Now in the real world, it'd probably go blank for like a second, and then it'd go from. So now we're going from at 275. And again, it's not going to be totally, oh, excuse me, it's not going to be totally accurate at first because we're right over it, so it's going to be very sensitive. But it'll get more accurate as we leave, and it'll get less accurate as we are farther out. But you can see Ooh, excuse me. El Paso's growing in the distance right over there. $10 to get rid of these hiccups. $10. It's got a nice haze on the lights too, like real life, you know? So that's pretty cool. Visuals are definitely top notch in this sim. It's just the accuracy of airports with taxi lights, the excessive ground crew, the drops in frames with Sim Connect. And they're supposed to be fixing a lot of this stuff next week with an update, so we'll see. I apologize for the excessive hiccups. There's not much I can do. I'm trying. Alright, as we get closer. Oh, that was the Hudspeth VOR, which was my checkpoint, by the way. So that's like an hour and 3, yeah. Good. Alright, next checkpoint is the underground pipeline, which is on the sectional 11 minutes away from us. So it's marked underground pipelines, and that one we're probably not going to see as much, but there is something out there with a height of 5,480 feet. So might see something out there still. Either way, I'll use the GPS to help me navigate that and let me know when I'm over it. So sorry it's getting late here. It's almost 2 a.m. So I want to get this flight done. Get a little more to the west coast. Alright, we'll update on a map. So, here we are. Here's where we left, Fort Stockton. And we're going to El Paso International, which is right over there. So we're pretty close now. We're getting there. .5 minutes out. The underground pipeline on the sectional is getting there, so. Really nice, easy flight tonight, though. Let's give that. See that red light? That's what I'm talking about. That's the tower at 5,480 feet or something. So it's nice that that's in the sim, because that's where the pipelines are. When we reach there, that'll be our visual. So. yeah, I'm gonna see about the feasibility about buying one of those NVIDIA 3000 series cards is in the fall. Probably try to finance it 0%, see how much better it does. Right now we're running an RTX 2080, which is, it's no slouch, but it's not the super model. It's what I could afford when I built this computer in April of 2019. So I also mine Bitcoin when I'm not using my computer. I just leave it on with as much things off as I can while it burns. It mines Bitcoin. So it's my retirement, my early retirement, if that should go up in price. But I don't even know how much that's going for right now. Should probably check it out. So Bitcoin, 11,387.20 cents per a Bitcoin. And again, I mine where it's just fractions of a Bitcoin, so it's not anything big like that. But pardon me, it's definitely going up. So, and if it goes up like that over the years, then that's just incrementally gonna hopefully pay off. You know, it's kind of like mining for gold, but you have Bitcoin. So, all right, our ground speed's 122 knots. Again, I calculated 111 on my original planning, which is why we're going a little faster than what I planned. I also went direct instead of climbing to 8,500 feet, then overflying the airport. So overall, this has been an enjoyable, longer flight for me, and it's going very well. I mean, the checkpoints have been there. You know, we got to see that spaceport somewhat. So lots of, you know, I didn't think there was going to be lots of interesting things, but I'm also grateful for, even though it's night, it's not like black night, like you can see things, you know. So that's always cool. And the Western music, honestly, it's been pretty enjoyable in the background. So but again, hopefully this weekend get to work on editing one flight, if not the past two flights I've done in the real world, get those posted. They were really good, really nice flights to go on. And I returned back to teaching on Monday, so I won't have as much time, but I'll try to keep updated. I'll keep simming, keep flying in the real world, and I'll get things up there as I can. But you're seeing the outskirts of El Paso coming up. Alright, the pipelines are over here, just by where all these things are. Two coming from the north. But definitely a point you can see here. It's a conglomeration of pipelines. So that is our checkpoint. And then this is actually windmills in the distance, which is going to be our next checkpoint. So those are not the tower. The tower would be down here. But you don't see it. So I don't see it. The windmills, you can see those in the distance. That's why they're a bit visual. There's two of them, just like in real life, but in the section, so that's cool. All cool. Sweet. So we'll just keep on our way here, heading towards those windmills, and then, yeah, we're gonna have to get a weather report too. So why don't we get that dialed in? The 8S for El Paso International is 120.0. And I'll contact approach. I'll actually do that in the simulator, because you need to be in two-way communication to go on the Class Charlie, so in real life. Here's the ATIS. If we're in a range. Don't do that. Go back to those things there. Actually, the ATIS is 120.0. So he must be out of range still or something. Oh, we'll go back to, yeah, no, we'll leave it there until we get a signal. Also, it's El Paso approach on 119.15. Let's see if we can get that on the simulator. So again, I write all this stuff down that comes from the chart supplement book. And scroll lock is the air traffic control. I'm on El Paso, so we'll leave that there. And we're not close enough yet for any commands. They have it Albuquerque Center, 132.65, but we're gonna wait till El Paso comes on board. And that's also, I think, on the sectional, it should say contact El Paso approach within 20 nautical miles. At least I thought it would. And it didn't. Alright, well, we'll do that. But we'll see what happens. Column 2's down here, by the way. So it's the same type of deal. We can actually leave the weather for El Paso on this one. Just like real life, will just monitor it. Yeah, we'll make that active. And put column 2, column 1.
Nope.
1 and 2.
El Paso Airport Information Hotel 0500 Zulu. Line 216 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 11,800 feet. Temperature, 20. Dew point, 10. Altimeter, 29.902. ILS runway 22 in use. Landing and departing runway 22. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back all short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have hotel.
Hotel. Okay, keep going. Give me one more time here.
El Paso Airport Information Hotel 0500 Zulu. Line 216 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 11,800 feet. Temperature, 20. Dew point, 10. Altimeter, 29.902. ILS runway 22 in use. Landing and departing runway 22. VFR aircraft say direction of flight.
So there we go. We will go with that. And now we'll turn off COM 2.
On initial contact you have hotel.
Okay, go back to COM 1. There we go. COM 2 and 1. So it automatically switches. So we're going to keep it on COM 1, but we can always monitor COM 2 by turning it on.
El Paso Airport.
So you see what I'm saying? You can turn it on and off. You can listen to bolts if you have approach here. It's all good. And those are the windmills I'm talking about on our next to last checkpoint. El Paso in the distance, really close now. Really, really close. One view at the map again. Here's where we start, Fort Stockton. We're right outside El Paso now. So it's looking really, really close. In fact, you can see the lights of the airport out there. And yeah. Sure, when we hit the El Paso, come on, we should be in approach already. But as we get closer, that should come alive. In real life, I could probably already contact them, so 119.15, yeah. Okay, let's get the tower set up here. Tower 118.3. Because that's who you're going to contact as you get closer. Approach. I mean, if I have to, I'll just contact the tower and go from there, but we'd like to be in contact with approach, going into class Charlie. And windmills right there, so very accurate for real world here. Very nice scenery, and hour 21 is what I said, so yeah, I can see we might be even a little faster than that, so you see those windmills, so that's really cool that they're in there. Cool. The drone can go over there too as well, so that's really cool. El Paso in the distance. All right, windmills with the last checkpoint. So I have like an hour 19. Which isn't that far off, but 2 minutes ahead of schedule here, so means we should get to El Paso around an hour and 30 minutes total. That's not counting, like, you know, extra landing, taxiing time, but makes it pretty good. So let's see if we got any approach here yet. Come on now. Oh, there we go. Yep, so we can press flight following.
El Paso approach, Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot is type Cessna Skyhawk 15 miles
Also start
northeast of Tango Alpha 62. Request flight following.
Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot El Paso
2, 4,
approach.
5, 6.
Squawk 2456.
2. Come on. Hey, click. Oh, it's my mouse here. It's not clicking. Alright, we'll just acknowledge it and it'll set it automatically.
Squawk 2456 Cessna 9er Echo
For some
Foxtrot.
reason it's not letting me click. Oh, there we go. Alright. It did it automatically.
Cessna 9er
But
Echo
still.
Foxtrot radar contact.
That was weird.
14 miles
It didn't let me
northeast of
select
Tango
those
Alpha
numbers.
628,300 feet. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2.
No, it's doing something funky now. Alright. Maybe because I'm in air traffic control, that's why.
Copy
Yep.
Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot.
Hey, what happened to my mouse here? It's not letting me left click anything. That could be a bug, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily I know the shortcut keys for the keyboard. But that is a pain. 2, 4, 5, 6, no. Well, I have lost the control of my left mouse button. And that's it. Intriguing. Well, we'll make it happen with the instruments I do have, but what the heck happened to my mouse? Oh, maybe because I have scroll lock on. No? No? Weird. Very weird. Alright, we'll go with it. I don't know what's going on here. And let me left click there, so why doesn't it let me left click on the... Boy, that is weird. Alright, that's the drone cam. This is outside. It's not letting me scroll out of there. That has to be a bug. So, I think that's a little dimmer back there though. Alright, we'll make it happen. I'm not concerned. Seeing that we're in two-way communication now, we're good to go. Let's get in here. Pattern altitude's about 5,000, so we're gonna stop at 5,000. And we also got a contact tower. So, but approach in the real world would hand us off the tower when it's ready. So we'll give it a chance to, and we'll see if it does it. If it doesn't, then we're gonna cancel flight following the contact tower. So, but in the real world, it would hand us off because it would know where we're going and everything. So, we'll see what happens. And And I have tower frequency on standby just in case. I should also get ground ready to go. Well, no, we'll just do tower for now. We'll worry about ground after we get off the runway. That's the airport right in front of us, so no problemo there. And we zoom in on here. That's the airport, and here's where we are. So, get nice, calm, easy flight. It's very nice to fly. Reach the mixture just slightly. And we're just about to hit the class Charlie here, which we will be in because it's between 8,000 and 5,200. And that's 8,000 to surface as we get closer to the middle here. But welcome to El Paso, everybody. Let's just make sure we land. Yeah, right on. It's 12 o'clock midnight out there right now, so this is what it would look like at midnight, I guess. I like that the city kind of lights up a little of everything here, and it's a huge city, so yep. All right, if I guess I'll do that, but typically you don't have to do that in the real world, but it's nice to do if you want.
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot El Paso approach.
Great.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Oh, cleared through it, so that's cool. You see what I mean about the ATC
Cleared
though?
through Charlie airspace, Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot.
It's good for having something. But we'll clear through the Charlie. So let's pretend that he just handed me off the tower. Bam, go to tower. It's not doing that either. El Paso International Tower, 118.3, which I had in there, but for some reason it's giving me a 305er because that's what was in the radio. All right, we got a full stop landing. So in the real world, I'd go El Paso Tower, says 9 Echo Foxtrot. 7 miles to the east with a hotel to land. So let's see what it does.
El Paso Tower Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot is 8 miles east with hotel to land.
87, yeah.
Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot El Paso Tower. Make left base runway 22. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er to wind 216 at 5.
Left base, runway 22 at 9er Echo Foxtrot. That's what I would say, so let's see what it says.
Make left base runway 22, Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot.
Alright, now let's see where we are with this whole thing. So left base, runway 22. That's 26, so 22's gotta be up here. Yeah, so that's 22. Gonna make a left base to 22. But there's, yeah, but that's 26 right, 26 left.
El Paso Tower UPS 9er tree 208 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 22 approach.
Oh, there you go. There's more traffic out there, so that's cool. That might be real world traffic. Yep, that's real world traffic right now.
Cleared ILS runway 22 approach. Altimeter 29
He's
decimal 9er to wind 216 at 5.
Going the same runway as me though, so and he's hopefully gonna get there fast.
UPS 9er tree 20 cleared to land runway 22.
Yeah, he's cleared to land right now, so it's cool. I also have to keep my altitude
Cessna
up.
9er Echo Foxtrot cleared to land runway 22. Follow the generic on final.
There you go.
Wind 216 at 5.
So cleared for number 2. Behind the jet on
Cleared to
final.
land runway 22 up to 932.
There you go. It did it from your oh wait, no, that's UPS. There you go.
Cleared to land runway 22 Cessna 9 Echo
We're number
Foxtrot.
2 though, so you probably want to say that too. So, like I said, the ATC has some things to to work on. It'd be nice to clarify that you're number 2, and I'm behind this UPS flight. Now this is a real-world flight right now. That's what this traffic is. So they imported the real-world aviation. That's a choice to make if you want it, and it's a jet, so we're gonna have to worry about wing turbulence. So we want to be higher than what it is, but it's really cool to see real-world weather instead of AI stuff. And it came from Ontario, California. I think that's what K-ONT is. So I think it's Ontario, California. Cool. All right, left base. We're gonna stay out here. We're also gonna get slowing down here pretty soon. Nice. That was cool to see. So I left real world weather on with everyone else that has live conditions on, and that is cool. Definitely something to be worried out. But that is runway 22, I believe. And we're gonna slow down here. So 1700. Beautiful. Seeing that we're under 100, we'll do 10 degrees of flaps. And we'll angle down. Let's make sure my flaps went down, because as you know, we have controller problems here. There you go. I didn't like that either. And if I touch anything USB, this has a way of crashing, so we don't want that. All right, let's go down to 15 now. Oh. Good, another 10 degrees. Kind of right on that flap extended speed right there. And I don't think it did it, so I'm going to use my button again. Oh, you know, it did it, 20 degrees. And let's turn final. Right there, that's what we want. So, but the ATC definitely could use some work still.
Exit runway when
I didn't really do much with it, so I want to be about 75 right now. Very good. We're on final for runway 22, which is awesome. Beautiful. Now, what's going on with this TBM 900 in front of me? I don't know, but he's coming from the other way. Yeah, interesting. So that's what happens when you have users on the network. Typically, if you crash into them, I don't think you're going to have a problem. But that's interesting for me. The real world 2 flights ago, I actually had a similar situation. I was landing on 2 Fort Plymouth, and there was some type of aircraft that was landing on 6, even though I called out several times in the pattern what I was doing and where I was going. So, yeah. Alright, we still have 10 more degrees of flaps. We're a little low, lower than I like to be, so I'm going to hit the throttle a little bit more and level out, let it climb naturally just a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, so maybe Killicus wasn't with me. I have no clue, but I'm going to land. It didn't say go around or anything. Climb a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit better. I'll also trim up just slightly. Good. Beautiful. Alright, let's slow down a little bit. Full flaps, 30 degrees. Make sure they're down. There they are. Okay, beautiful. So the keyboard's working. It's just the left mouse button doesn't want to click in the cockpit. That's definitely a bug. I can't turn any of these dials. Oh, it came back. I don't know what just happened there, but alright. I'm gonna land this thing, so let's make it happen. We're a little fast. Like to be about 60. Alright, I'll pull you all the way out, throttle wise. Slow down a little bit. And I think I'll kick in the throttle a little bit more. Going a little fast. I'm going a little too fast. But I am definitely in the middle. We are going to land this thing. So here we go. We're right where we should be now. Okay. Flaring slightly. There we go on the back and down. Beautiful. All right, flaps up. And I have to double check that they are. No, they are not. So let's try my switch here. Beautiful, they're going up now. Man, that's some weird stuff. My keyboard, F5 usually.
Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, turn next taxiway.
Okay, I'll turn it on. Quebec. Dead stick landing. I don't know what achievement that is, but I just made it, everybody. It says I made the dead stick landing. Now, where are the lights that help me lead off this runway? Because I see the sign. But, I guess I'm going to go for these taxi lights right here, because I don't see anything there. And this is what I'm saying. It's a little confusing, because there's the yellow line. Okay. But sometimes there's green lights on the road to help you, and sometimes not. I don't know about this one. But, it's also not lining up with the, airport diagram.
Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, exit runway when able.
Yep, Quebec. So we're on Quebec right now.
Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, contact ground on 121.9.
So I gotta answer him back and say 121.9. All right, we're clear. Tell them that we're going over the ground.
121.9 for Cessna 9
All right,
Echo
and we're gonna
Foxtrot.
request taxi to parking. So,
El Paso ground, Cessna November 489 Echo Foxtrot,
this down
request
before
taxi to parking.
Cessna November 489 Echo Foxtrot, taxi to General Aviation Parking by taxiway Charlie Kilo Hotel, cross runway 8 right Hotel Bravo Alpha Foxtrot.
well, thank God they wrote that down, because she really said that wicked fast. All right, Charlie Kilo Hotel, cross runway 8 right, Bravo Alpha Foxtrot. Believe it or not, I only missed Bravo on that whole thing. That's how fast he said it. So,
Taxiing to
try
General
doing this without
Aviation Parking
progressive.
by taxiway Charlie Kilo Hotel, cross runway 8 right Hotel Bravo Alpha Foxtrot, Cessna 9 Echo
Okay,
Foxtrot.
now first off, this is not lining up with the newest airport diagram, so I'm going to do progressive taxi here. Alright, there is no progressive. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do my own way then. We're going to take a right over here. They said cross runway 8 right. And again, this for me is Quebec and Juliet, which is why that made no sense. Because it says Charlie Kilo. Well, I don't see Charlie here. I do see Kilo, but it also says there's a closed runway. There's a closed taxiway there. Unless that's X-ray, which I doubt. And General Aviation Parking is all the way down there. So yeah, I'm gonna do my own way then. I don't know what else to do here. So I'll keep it open and I'll do it my way. Taking a right on the Juliet here. Again, I have the newest airport diagram, so it's all good. Thank you for sticking with me the entire flight. Appreciate that, and I hope it is enjoyable. And you're from Indonesia, so I didn't even see a Rosie. Is it Rosie? Fernando, thank you for tuning in tonight. And see that you're on YouTube there, so feel free to like and subscribe. But how you doing tonight? Flaps are all the way up, right? Yep. Okay. We don't want to go too fast here. It should be a jog. It should be like you're jogging down the taxiway. That's how fast you want to taxi. So, but this is El Paso, Texas. And we'll take a left onto, looks to be whiskey. Oh, it's on Mike. That's upside down M. But you see what I mean with the taxi? Let's look at this. Look how annoying that is. It's in the middle of a taxiway. They don't belong there. Simulator's great. There's a couple things they gotta fix. Actually, no, it was a visual mistake there. Okay. okay. I can respect that. So I'm going to take a left onto Mike eventually. And that should be coming up soon. And I got some epic music going on right now. So I don't know what that's all about, but let's get back to the Western music here. Because we are out in the Wild West. Okay, should be coming up. There should be a left turn here onto Mike, but there is... Oh, there is. They help to see taxiway signs, just saying. That's the other thing I find annoying is that you don't see all the taxi signs here. Okay, and there should be a right onto Mike. So we'll take this right and this across 8 right if I'm right, if I am right, because all the taxiway letters are different. So Rossi, do you do flying in Indonesia, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. Actually, you know what? It didn't line up. I was supposed to go that other one. It's okay. No, actually, it's not alright. I should turn around. Screw it. I'll just go straight. We'll go up 8 right, and then we'll continue on to Mike again. It helps with that progressive directions too on the taxi, so. Alright. I'm cleared for 8 already, so let's just go. And 8 right should be on the left here. Taxi up on the 8 right. Boy, it's a long taxi. Alright, I'm trying to use the GPS directions to help me, but that's not right either. There should be another taxi line. What does this sign say? It's so hard without taxi signs. E. It says Echo. Alright. Well, I'm on concrete, so that's the good news. The bad news, I'm supposed to go north up to the general aviation ramp, so we'll go this way. Keep an eye on it. We'll see if we can get up there. Boy, how annoying is this? What taxiway is this? Yeah, this is what I want. No, this is saying it's Lima. What is it saying here? Can't even read that thing, can you? It says Bravo. Alright, it's not Bravo in the real world though, it's Lima. But anyways, we follow this all the way down. And we're going to take our first right, and that should be the GA ramp with the FBOs. That's what it says on the airport diagram, so that's what we'll do. Nice night in El Paso. And we're definitely going to call it a night after this. So it's 2 a.m. out here on the east coast of America. And I am a little tired, so I had a long day. Okay, I'm also going to enrich in the mixture a little bit. Going a little fast, but get it there. Alright, getting there. Should be my next right, whenever there is a right. Sorry about that. I was changing windows there for a second. Oh, there's my right. Let's make it happen. I was going very slow, knowing that that would just pop out of nowhere. So this whole taxi lights and this and that, he's lower. See that taxi light's in the middle of the runway. Like, what the heck is that? I don't know. But these buildings right here are the FBOs. So we're going to park over here with these aircraft, and we're going to call it a night. But we made it to El Paso, everybody. And we'll pick up from El Paso maybe tomorrow. I might do a flight tomorrow. If not, hopefully Saturday. So, but all right, let's. Seems like all the aircraft go that way, so let's go this way. Go a little bit to the left, a lot to the right. Looks like we got clearance, so we're good. Not totally realistic on the hands-off from approach to tower. You can cancel flight following the rules. You can just say, you know, airport in sight, request cancellation of flight following this time. But it is what it is. So let's look outside though before I shut this down. Ooh, look at that picture. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Yeah, that's a nice one. And oh, my mouse wheel works again, everybody. That is just weird. I don't know what the heck happened there, but it didn't let me use my left mouse button for a little bit. Got mountains off the city there. It's nice to see that the lighting from the city lights up the mountains a little bit. I think it's realistic. I've never been to El Paso, so I can't tell you. But this is where we are, and yeah, let's shut it down for the night. So here we go. Checklist, which I didn't do after I got off the runway. Strobes can go off. We know that. Flaps up I did. Strobes off. Landing lights. The trim should be set for takeoff. Good. All right. LT verify silent. Avionics off. Turn off the radios. And transponder will set to off, so that way I reminded myself to set to VFR. Alright, mixture will be full name once I turn off all the lights, except for the beacon. Good. Alright, mixture of full rich. Let's turn off the propeller. Mags off. I'm gonna turn the panel lights off, and then we'll turn the master off. Good. Master off, beacon off, and we are parked. I also set the parking brake. Which I think that set it. No, it didn't. There we go. It's down on the buttons, not up. All right, and there we go. We're in El Paso, Texas. Thank you very much for joining me on this flight tonight. Not my typical. Usually don't go this late, but wanted to do it. Wanted to get out of the way, and it's a beautiful night here in El Paso, Texas. So, if you liked tonight's flight and you want to see more like it, please follow us on Twitch. Push that follow button now. You know you want to do it, so just do it. Also, subscribe and like on YouTube, and if you want to see other streamed flights, you can look there. They all get saved there. And also, I have some real-world flights there as well, and I'll hopefully be adding to those this weekend. So, without further ado, have a great night, and we'll see you later. Have a good one.